We'll go to our first question. We'll go with Joseph Duarte from the Chronicles. Joseph, go ahead, please, sir.
Hey, good morning, Quentin, or afternoon. Wanted to ask you just how much the emphasis has been on that zone this week. What Syracuse does. I mean, has it just been a lot of film, or is there anything that you guys can equate to what y'all have done this season, or an opponent where you sort of have some knowledge of it?
Yeah, it's been the focal point of our practices, just offensively. Just trying to figure out different ways that we can get the ball to the middle, have a lot of spacing out there on the floor. We've seen some zone this year with Tulsa, Tulane, a little bit of UCF. So we kind of got familiar with some zone, but just knowing that they play zone all games, it's going to be tough. But I feel like Coach is doing a great job in the film and on the court. So I feel like we'll be ready for it on Saturday.
We'll go to Mark Berman with Fox 26. Mark, please go ahead.
Quentin, can you adequately put into words what DeJon means to this program, and how huge is it that you know he's going to be available on Saturday, and he says he's not going to be limited?
Yeah, he's the heart and soul of the team. He's the leader out there. He's a coach that's not the coach out there on the floor. And just knowing that he'll be not limited at all, Saturday is going to be a huge emphasis for us. You know, he'll be out there to kind of play like himself, play defense like himself, and just kind of be that guy that we've been needed all year. And I feel like it'll be a big addition just to get him back healthy again come Saturday.
What are some of the things that make him so special and such a good leader?
He can just do everything out there on the court. Really, he can score when he needs to, get assists. He gets everybody involved, rebounds, defensive player of the year in our conference. So he just does everything really well out there on the court, and just kind of connects us and makes us all play hard, really.
Thank you, Mark. We'll go to Jerome Solomon with the Houston Chronicle. Jerome, go ahead, please, sir.
Hey, Quentin, I know you talked about the transfer and moving over from Kansas before, but what was the challenge of walking into a new program with guys that you didn't know and hadn't played for? And on some level, I guess you had to prove to them what you're made of.
I knew most of the guys really on the team, just being from Houston, and a few of the guys were from Houston. And then just coming in, just got kind of like a freshman in a sense. I was kind of just learning everything, just learning what Coach Sampson wants every day in practice. Just really trying to get a whole raw feel and get comfortable. And that's kind of what I did this year. Just got real comfortable with everything.
Yeah, I would have thought that you and DeJon would have gone at it early on, but he said when you first came or your first visit or whatever, that when y'all play pickup, y'all were on the same squad. Is that like? And he made it sound like you guys ran the floor as opposed to going at each other on that. Do you recall when y'all first got together on the court, first time you played with most of the guys on the team?
Yeah, played pickup on visit, and it was me, DeJon. I think it was Nate. It really just like the whole starters from last year, really. And then we just felt like home. Really, we just connected right away, and I knew that it was going to be a perfect situation.
That seems different. Like you would think that there might be a little contentious or whatever, but it was family from the get-go.
Yeah, that's what made it easy. They just kind of some teams might get jealous or might get egotistical about another player coming in, but where they embraced me like I had been there already. So it's kind of made the transition easy.
All right. Thanks, man.
Thank you, Jerome. We'll go back to Andy Yanez with the Cougar. Andy, go ahead, please, sir.
Hey, Quentin, can you talk a little bit about Buddy Boeheim and really what kind of challenges is going to be trying to defend him on Saturday?
Yeah, he's a great shooter, elite shooter. We have to know he's at all times. You got to make sure he can't even really catch the ball. You got to make sure if he's going to make a move, you got to make sure he's putting it on the ground, not a lot of just catch and shoot, got to be in him. So we just got to really know where he's at really all times out there on the court.
We'll go to Dayon Dunlap, please. Dayon, a question for Quentin.
Hey, Quentin, people watch you, I think that normally they would say you need to be more aggressive or have that dog mentality or killer instinct. I feel like you've proven that with making big shots. How do you feel you've grown with your aggression or having that killer instinct within this team?
I feel like it's grown every game this year, really. I think Coach gives a great job of giving his guys the freedom, and with that freedom kind of comes with the confidence of just going out there and just being aggressive. So I feel like that's kind of where it comes from, really.
We'll go to Jason Bristol with KHOU. Jason, go ahead, please.
Hey, Quentin, the length at the top of that zone, what kind of challenge will that provide you guys the fact that they can get out on shooters with those long wingspans.
Yeah, we definitely got to make sure that we're spaced out there on the court, make sure we're not too close or they have to kind of close out harder. We have to make sure we're using ball fakes to try and get to the middle, whether it be Justin or Fabian in the middle. We have to make sure we're just kind of utilizing every shot fake, length, everything, just out there screening the middle of it, inside to make one defender close out on us. So just kind of using every aspect of trying to get open, trying to get with the length out there up top.
We'll go to Chris Gardner, please. Chris, go ahead.
Quinn, what has the team done this week during downtime, during off time?
Yesterday we went to Top Golf. That was a lot of fun. I feel like that was a real good bonding experience, even though it was kind of towards the end of the season. But I feel like it made it even closer, just seeing us doing something other than basketball related. We have a little mini hoop in our little meeting room now. So me and Marcus were playing one-on-one on that yesterday after the team film. So just little things like that, playing cards, Uno, stuff like that.
How are you at Top Golf?
I'm not that good. I ain't gonna lie to you, but I need to take some lessons, but I get better though.
DeJon said Ryan Elvin is the best golfer on the team.
Nah, he definitely is. Ryan showed us he got some skills for sure. So he's definitely the best on the team.
Appreciate it. Quinn,
how would you describe Juwan Roberts' golf game?
Oh man, it look like Charles Barkley. Ain't gonna look like that. That's what it look like.
We'll go to Mark Berman with Fox 26. Mark, go ahead, please, sir.
Quentin, what does this historic opportunity that you have here with U of H mean to you and to your team as well?
Yeah, it shows that we have a chance to make history, not only not for me, but for the city. Really, we have a chance to do something special that hasn't been done in a long time. And I feel like we stay focused. I feel like we're in a great opportunity, and we have a great opportunity in front of us to really show the world how good we are.
What do you think of the way Kelvin dances in the locker room after those big wins?
It gets even more hype, even more. Just seeing Coach Sampson kind of get out his element. We're used to seeing him screaming, yelling at us, putting us on the line. So when we see him do that, it kind of gets us really amped up and excited. It's fun to see, really.
Is he a good dancer or not?
I'll let y'all be the decision on that one. I ain't trying to run a shuttle for talking about his dance moves.
We'll go to Joseph Duarte again with the Houston Chronicle. Joseph, go ahead, please.
Quentin, speaking of Coach Sampson, big word in this program is development. And I was wondering, in the time that you've been here, where the impact has been made the most between him and his staff in your development.
I just feel like it's never a day off, really. Coach Q has been a big influence. My shooting coach every day, working on just getting to my spots where I like to get it. Before practice every day, after practice every day. We're always shooting, coming in on off days. Coach Q is always with me. He never lets me slack off, even on days where I'm tired. He never lets me go slow. It's always 110%. So I feel like just having those guys always pushing you and always kind of seeing what's in you to bring something out that you may not bring out in yourself, I think is the main key that kind of stands out with this program.
When Coach Sampson goes through the guys on the team and kind of looking to the future, he always mentions you as a guy that will have to be replaced, but we've never asked you. Have you made up your mind? I mean, is this it for you, or do you plan on leaving after this season, or is that something that you haven't made up your mind on yet?
I haven't made up my mind on that yet. I'm really trying to just stay focused on what's going on right now and just trying to be focused on winning the national championship. Really, whatever happens after this year, that'll happen. But right now, that's the main focus, is trying to win the national championship.
Gotcha. Thank you.
We'll go to Chris Baldwin with Paper City. Go ahead, Chris.
Hey, Quentin, when you hit your elbow in that Rutgers game and missed those free throws, right after that, how did you sort of shake that off and hit that three and come back with more plays? And how do you think your mental game sort of improved over the years?
Yeah, I knew once I missed the second one, I just had to shake it off. I know I couldn't get it back because I know we needed a bucket. And then I got the offensive rebound, and then I just came down and just made a three. So you can't dwell on things too long, because if you do it, you might miss your opportunity. So I feel like I'm good at just brushing things off now and just kind of learning from it, working on it. But after that, I know I would be fine once I just locked in after that.
Are there things you sort of work on to get that mindset, or how does that sort of develop?
I think just hard work, really just trusting all your work that you put in all year. Even though I missed 2 key free throws, I know you guys just keep trusting your work that you put in all year, and I feel like I did that when I came down and made the 3 because I put in a lot of work in my 3 ball this year, and I feel like it's shown. And just something I was confident in.
Thanks.
We'll go to Mark Berman with Fox 26. Mark, go ahead.
Quentin, what does Kellen Sampson mean to the program?
Man, he's really the all I know is he's gonna be a really good head coach. I know that for sure. Him and Coach Sampson are kind of like twins out there on the court. The way they coach us, whenever it's his scout, you can just tell the similarity between him and Coach Sampson, the attention to detail, the way they just run things, the way they talk. I think he's gonna be a really good head coach wherever he goes for sure, because the way he leads us whenever Coach Sampson may not be there for a day, it's like he's not even. It's like Coach Sampson's already there when Coach Kellen's there.
I got time for a few more questions here, guys. We'll go back to Jerome Solomon with the Houston Chronicle.
Hey, Quentin, I know you were joking about being forced to run if you said something about coaches dancing, but I've covered him for 20 plus years. I remember Quantas and Hollis used to complain about being forced to run when it was wrong. Is there a time that he made you run about something and you still go, that wasn't right? He got you on that day?
It probably was something in practice where somebody made a wrong read or something like that, and it probably was maybe somebody else's fault, but I ran for it, probably something like that. But it is what it is. We learn from it, it get better.
Yeah. And how do you deal with that with a coach who he's so stringent and so strong, but it's it's out of love, but you know he's not letting you get away with anything, right?
Yeah, it's tough. He never gonna let anything slip through the cracks. So I mean, you might be mad when you're running it, but it all pay off in the end. I know that for sure.
All right, thanks, man.
We'll go to Adam Wexler, please. Adam, go ahead.
Hey, Quentin, talking so much about DeJon and what he does for the team. When you got here, how long did it take you to realize all these things you've talked about, his leadership, that he can do it all, and that he's the heart and soul of the team? Was that something that you came to learn fairly quickly?
It really came this year. I think I feel D took a big step this year. I think him and Coach Sampson had a couple of meetings and stuff before the season started, and you could just tell him it started in practice. Really, just him just kind of being a lot more vocal, leading the younger guys, just kind of just his attention to detail a little bit more, just talking, getting everybody involved. It really started this year in practice, really. And then what you do in practice, you see it carried over to the games, and he's just improved every single game this year. So I feel like that's where it started.
I got time for 2 more questions, guys. One of them will go to Dayon Dunlap. Dayon, go ahead, please.
I know we've heard how you and Marcus are so close, and he's kind of struggled a little bit. What has been your message to him, or what has those conversations been like? Man, we're going to need you to just keep going. What has the talks been like between you guys?
I just tell him keep shooting because I know how good of a shooter he is. Coach Sampson, the whole team knows how good of a shooter he is. So we don't care if you miss 10 in a row. You better shoot the next one. You better shoot the next one for sure, because the next one might be the main one we need to go in. Just like last night with the free throws, even though he wasn't shooting the ball well, he got fouled, got the confidence to go up there and go up to the line and make both key free throws. So we don't care if he missed 20 in a row. We still want him to shoot it. So just I'll tell him to keep shooting it.
We'll get time for one more question. We'll go to Andy Yanez with the Cougar. Andy, go ahead, please.
Quentin, during that Rutgers game down the stretch, there was a point where you missed 2 free throws. The ball gets rebounded. It gets back to you, and you hit a big 3. Can you talk a little bit about how you obviously to take that shot, you have to have great confidence in yourself, but is that something you feel that you developed or it's really strengthened with Houston, or is that something that you feel like you've always had?
I feel like I've always had that, just coming out of high school, and then with Kansas, just kind of getting back to my old self, really. And then once I came to U of H, and just the emphasis that Coach Sampson tells all his guards every day, not just me, to just be aggressive, just stay in attack mode every time I'm out there on the court. And then this year, he just kind of emphasized it even more. So I feel like just having that voice in the back of your head is always telling you to keep going and keep shooting. There's never really a bad shot you can take. It just kind of elevates your confidence even more to take those shots in those big moments.
All right, Quentin, thank you very much for your time. We do appreciate it. Good luck to you this weekend. Everybody, thank you for joining us. If you need